Hello and welcome to Homestead Imaginations. Today is September 9th and we're going to be going over soil health. So I ran a little experiment. I planted these maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I can't remember when they got transplanted. I'd have to look in my journal. But I planted some right here, some in my raised strawberry bed that I just put together not too long, a few videos ago. I'd put this in. So the soil's really good. It's nice and loose still. It's healthy. And then I put a bunch of other of the transplants right into my other garden. So I got some of these from my neighbor. They had planted a bunch and they're thinning it out because too much germinated. So I got some. So I planted some here and they're doing extremely well. Very excited to see what that they're turning out. We'll get a little last batch of lettuce here before the season's about to wrap up for us. And here's their soil. Again, like I said, very loose, nice topsoil. Got it, mostly protected. It's not the best. I need to layer a little bit more, but it's not bad. These did very well. Then we're going to come over to my garden space, and these were put in the exact same time. And as you can tell, they are not very big. I mean, that's my hand there. And they didn't get very tall at all. Some of them, they're staying alive. They're very green, but they have not grown. Some of them have not grown at all since being put in here. Especially that one and that one. I don't think these even got any taller whatsoever. A few ones over there did. These they're getting shade now from the sun in the morning, but it won't be too much longer. You can kind of see it's starting to, the sun right here is starting to touch here, so not too much longer, maybe another hour or so, and then the sun will be on these and they'll be getting sun for the rest of the day. So it's not that they are not getting any sun, it's just that I think it really comes down to soil. So if we come over here, I'll show you its soil. So there we go. So that's the soil. I've got that all uncovered. That's my hand, my finger. I'm trying to push in here and I can't. That is very compacted. It's very like chunks, clumped up, and I mean, ooh, that's, yeah. See, it's sticking together a little bit. It's not terrible to break apart, but it's also not great. So lettuce roots, I don't think are the biggest roots, and I don't think they're the most aggressive of being able to push through soil. So that is what I'm working on. So the results are exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting to get better growing lettuces or lettuce and the raised bed compared to here. I already knew I had some issues with my soil here. It was late in the season and I finally mulched it, but before I mulched it and put these wood chips on, it had already gotten completely dry to a point where the soil was cracking. Even watering it was difficult because the water would just run right off to the lowest point, pool up, and then drain into that spot slowly. So the soil was already in rough shape when I put this down. So it obviously hasn't really rebounded. It's very thick. So I did this test to just confirm what I was already expecting. I already knew my soil needed help, but I wanted to really see comparatively the results. All the seedlings came from the exact same spot, came from same area. They're from my neighbor right across the road. So they should have grown, if the soil was good in both locations, they would have grown the exact same, but they didn't. So because those over there get shade from the tree in the late afternoon, so they probably get a little bit more sun than here, but not by much. These definitely are about to get sun, and then they'll have sun for the entire rest of the day. They're just being blocked by the broccoli here, which I let go to flower after I harvested it, and the bees are loving it. I'll show you. Got a couple bees in here. You might be able to pick them up, but they're loving these flowers, so I'm glad I left it. So One of the biggest skills I think a gardener or a homesteader can really truly have is problem solving. Being able to troubleshoot and figure things out, because nothing is exact. No conditions are the exact same, and you got to start to learn and figure out what is it that you need for your area, your soil, your specific identity, really, of what makes your garden your garden. There's a lot of factors, and you got to be able to start problem solving and troubleshooting any problem that comes up, and try and figure out what that problem is so you can make it better. You got to be willing to fail. You got to be willing and accept that you're going to try some things, and those things may work out great. They might give you better results. They might give you the same results, or they might, worst case scenario, give you worse results than what you would normally get or what you would be expecting. So those are all the things that we got to work through as trying to do this. And it's okay to fail. It's okay. That's how we learn. This was a bigger indication for me of learning, seeing it firsthand. Hey, those grew way better, those over there, than me just assuming, off, some good information and being able to look at things that it's still I guess maybe not an assumption, but still in a way it could be an assumption, like, oh yeah, like that soil is just not very good, that soil is better. But now I've got hard concrete evidence of that is true. So I'm going to be doing some things different. I got into composting. I'm going to be composting the soil after everything is completely done for the season, which we're pretty close. I'm going to be pulling out all the wood chips and the mulch, and I'm going to be laying down the compost, so that way it finishes breaking down over the winter, and then the soil will hopefully be healthier next year, and then just keep this process going. And then I'm getting into vermicasting right now, and having a couple little worm bins, and I'm going to be putting that on the plants next year as well. So natural fertilizers and trying to amend my soil to bring it back to good health. And it will take a little bit. I think it'll take a couple years to really, bring your soil back to good health when it's gotten this bad. But once I get it there, then I'll be able to keep the soil healthy and great, and feed my soil. So my soil feeds the plants, and then the plants will feed me. So that's it for today's video. The next video, I'm going to be doing a watering test. I want to water the plants or water the ground and see how much water is actually getting through and penetrating. So that's going to be the next video, another test just to kind of see the situation that I use, the amount of wood chips I use, and and just see how impactful that was on a watering standpoint. So we're all here to learn. So I hope you got something out of this. Most of this was just a kind of just showing the difference in what you can expect when you got good soil, when you don't have good soil, and then talk about some things that we can do differently and improve on for the next time. So every year is a learning experience. We can learn and grow, and each year we're going to get more experience under our belt, and we're going to learn and be better each year. So don't be afraid to start. Grow your own food. You'll be thankful in the future. And first couple of years might be a little rough, but you stick with it. You learn from your lesson, learn from your mistakes. You'll get there. It's not that complicated. It's just, there's a lot to it, but once you start learning the things, it comes pretty easy. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Keep the imagination rolling.